All right. And we are live on Facebook.
Good morning, Facebook community. Good morning, everyone. So excited to see everybody today. Gonna have an amazing session, living in between today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Good morning, good morning. Gonna be so excited today, just sharing some information with all of you, hearing some feedback from all of you. It's exciting. Good morning, Facebook family, as everybody's trickling in. Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, Facebook community. Good morning.
Peace and blessings.
Good morning, good morning. Grand rising, grand rising. Good morning. Oh, good morning, Cheryl.
Grand Rising, Sister Carmen.
Good morning, grand rising, grand rising. Good morning, Shawnee.
Hey.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Good morning, good morning. Welcome, Stacy, as your audio is connecting. Welcome. Good morning.
Carmen, is there anything that our community need to have in order to participate in your session this morning?
Yes. Thank you, John. So as everybody's coming in, just get yourselves together, some water, two pieces of paper. You can bring crayons, markers, highlighters, whatever you have close by, markers. Good morning, Jacqueline. Good morning. Yes, we could get all set up for the session.
Good morning.
Good morning, Grand Rising. Good morning, Facebook community. Good morning, Woo community. So excited to see all of you this morning. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, good morning. Good morning. Good morning for those of you who are just joining us. If you could just get some water, two pieces of paper or your notebook, some markers, pens, highlighters. Good morning, Louise. Good morning, Haiti.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Joyce. Welcome, welcome. Good morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning. And again, if you're just joining us, you can just bring with you some water, two pieces of paper, pencils, markers, highlighters, whatever you have at home to write with. Welcome, welcome. Good morning. Yes, good morning, Woo community. Happy
Wake up everybody, it's time to get up. Wake up, everybody. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. Stay woke, stay woke, stay woke. It's time to get up. We're healing, we're dealing, we're growing. Together, releasing. We're teaching, we're moving. Together, we're learning, discerning. We're striving. Together, we're leading, connecting, transforming. Together.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Thursday. Woo! All right. So first of all, I just want to say how excited I am to be with all of you this morning. And just I'm going to introduce myself for those of you who don't know me. My name is Carmen Reyes, and oh man, this is like I was telling the admin team, we are going on a field trip. So if you don't like field trips, this is a new one for you. So let's take that on for today. So as we get started, first, I just really want to acknowledge just this entire community and the space that we are, that we have created, Yeshani for honoring Shamani and your ancestors, and for everyone on this call and on Facebook for honoring your ancestors and coming together. So thank you for that. And also just want to share that, I'm on this call with you today, not because I know more than any of you. I was actually a little nervous because I was thinking, what the heck am I gonna share with this community? What am I gonna offer? I don't have like products to provide, and I was like, no, Carmen, step that to the side. Because what I do have and what I am a master at is I have a set of skills, talents that are mine, right? That I was born with. And all of you have that. And my commitment with everything that I do is to bring love, compassion, and fun and creativity to everything that I do. Those are part of my gifts. So, and in everything that I do, my commitment also is to share that with the people that I interact with, so that they themselves can see, what are their gifts? What are their talents, right? We don't always need to have something tangible to have happy, successful lives. And, when I was thinking about the title for the session, in between, it's like, what the heck does that even mean, to live in between? But I think we're constantly in the space of in between. What should I do? Who should I be? Is this right? Is this wrong? All these conversations. So today we're just gonna have a conversation about what does it mean for us to live in between with our gifts and our talents and our passions. Okay, so we're going to start with a quote. And Kenyofu, we could go to the first slide. Perfect. So this quote, the only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision, by Helen Keller. And I'm going to just read that one more time. The only thing worse than being blind is having sight but no vision. And I love this quote, right? Because this was by a woman who was blind, deaf, and mute. And when I first heard that and thought about her, it was just like, wow, this person who couldn't see the world, couldn't feel the world, couldn't hear the world. Which, no, she felt it, but she couldn't see it. If she did all the things she did in her life, what would stop me, right? So I guess I would like to just hear for a few of you. You can put it in the chat, or if you would like to share, you can either raise your hand or come off mute. And what resonates with you with this quote?
Hello, Carmen.
Yes.
This is Hattie.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning, sis. This is awesome to be able to start the morning with a quote like this, because being blind It's not necessarily the best thing, right? Because there's some many limitations. However, when you have vision, it doesn't get in the way. And we have phenomenal examples, Stevie Wonder, Ray Charles, but the woman, oh shucks, the other sister who was blind, but yet she changed the world. Most of us get up every day and we live life. I'm not even gonna call it living. I think we live in a world where most of us simply exist. We are in this mode of survival, but we just go through life, or life just goes through us. To me, that's a horrible way to live life. But if you wake up with a vision, I don't care how little it is, but it's a vision, right? It's something that you want to live into for you, for you, for you, because it makes you happy on some level. So I think just putting that out there is a way for people to take a look. Well, let me look at me. I'm not blind, but do I have vision? I love the question, sis. Thank you.
Good morning. Thank you. Thank you very much for that. Anyone else? And I see that Candace wrote on the chat, I have not used my talents as fully as I could have. I had vision, but I had blinders on. Now I am seeing more fully. Thank you, Candace. Anyone else?
Yes, hi, good morning. This is Teresa.
Good morning, Teresa.
The very fact that I'm here lets me know that I have a vision and I need to push every day to fight through all the different trials and tests that I've gone through with my body. But I'm still here no matter what. So there is a purpose for me. There's a vision for me. Sometimes I know that I'm here to encourage people, that I know that's one of my visions. But sometimes I feel like what I'm going through physically overwhelms, my need to push. But lately, for the last week or so, I've been in pain, suffering, and still pushing. So I can't allow whatever I'm dealing with physically to stop my progress. So that's my vision period. Just pushing, pursuing in the midst of pain. So, it might sound crazy, but if anyone understood my body, they would understood what I was saying. Is that this pain, this shit ain't gonna stop me. That's what I got to say. The shit that I'm going through is not stopping me.
Yes, thank you, Teresa.
I'm complete.
Thank you. Yes, and you're absolutely right. One of the things is that, when we don't, someone has a vision for us, right? Whether it was our parents, our guardians, caregivers, society, someone has a vision, right? And when I thought about this quote about a vision, I shared with most of you on this call about my twin sister having passed away. And I thought about her dreams and some of the things that she did and realized. And I thought to myself, I don't want to leave this physical world without having expressed who I am in the world, right?
Yes.
My vision of myself. Because not for nothing, we are taking ourselves the entire way to the end. So might as well do something good with that.
That's right.
And what happens is, and what I started thinking about was, if I don't live my vision, someone's going to live it for me, right? Society says I should be this, or I should be that, or I need to work this way, or I need to do that. And I was like, no, thank you. I don't want that. So, but really when thinking about what that vision is for myself, who am I, right? Who am I, with love and compassion and fun and creativity? What does that look like? Those parts are important to me, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to, was there any share from Facebook? Just want to make sure our Facebook community stays on with us about the quote.
There's no Facebook dropped into this chat, but this chat has a few quotes that not quotes, but conversation that I could read for you.
Please, thank you.
Okay, so Shawnee says, Helen Keller was amazing. She was actually deaf and blind and still had a planetary impact with her message about life, living, and being. It's a reminder for me to see and be all that I can. Jacqueline says, without vision, the people perish, is another quote that comes to mind. I recall in King Yofu's Dash that you do not want to die with your music in you. Charmaine says, the only thing worse than being blind is having sight, but no vision. Okay, I'm sorry. Pastor Paul. All right, I'll get present now. Joyce says, yes, I'm like that. I'm not blind, but I do have visitor. Vision. I think that's what she wanted to say. And Zakia
Yes, I'm
says,
sorry. I misspelled.
okay.
My thing is going crazy. Thank you. Sorry.
All right, no problem. Zakia says, doesn't sound crazy at all, beloved. And she's talking to Teresa. And Terry says, vision helps you when life tries to pull you down.
Yes, thank you, Kinyofu. And it's Thursday morning, so, you know, mistakes, misspells, it is all good. The conversation is still going to be the same, so bring it on. Thank you, Kinyofu. So yeah, so I think, you know, so we're going to move into the first activity. So if you want to grab a piece of paper, your pens, your markers, your highlighters, and I always say highlighters because I have my set of highlighters always with me. And you know, with all the messages that we're getting from different people and their visions for us, you know, sometimes it can drown out our voice, that small voice that wants to come out, that wants to be expressed. So what we're gonna do is just, Kinyofu, if we can move to the next slide. Perfect, thank you. So if you can just, in your piece of paper or in your notebook, in the center, just write your name. And I put different bubbles of colors just because I love colors. Just doesn't matter how many you want to write, 3, 4. And we're going to take about 2 minutes to do that. I'll set a timer. And think about your life. What parts of your life you want to express, that you want the world to see, whether you're doing it now or you've been thinking about it. You know, just write them out and try not to think about, yeah, but if, no, these are parts of myself. So for example, for me, it's always been, I love colors, as I've already mentioned. And one of the sessions that we had done on the Wood community with Cheryl from Bliss, she, you know, we had a session and she talked about colors. So she gave me the coaching to wear nail polish or wear colorful things. And I chose a red nail polish. And I tried it on for a whole week. I painted my toenails and my hands with red. And every time I looked at it, I cringed. I'm like, I like it, but I'm not sure. And it didn't really fit with me, right? Because I had this voice of like what, you know, women who wear a lot of colorful things, what they means, and they're seeking attention. So these messages. So I took it off. But this month, what I've been doing is I painted my nails different colors for Pride Month, and I love it. And I was like, oh, that feels nice. So I'm just gonna paint my toenails that way too, right? So it's not about, you know, it looking a certain way or you having to express those parts of you, right? But if you see yourself as like, oh, I feel myself creative, write that in the bubble, okay? So we are going to take 3 minutes and I'm gonna set the timer, I'm sorry, 2 minutes. And you could just start your name in the center and those parts of you that you want to express or are expressing. And the time starts now. Okay, time is up. Time is up. So we'll open up the floor for just anyone that wants to share some of the parts of them that they would like to express or are expressing.
I'm gonna call on somebody, and that somebody feels like Abimbola. Can you come to video?
Peace and blessings. Yes. This is Abimbola.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Nice to see you.
All right. So I put in my bubbles, I put organizer, servant, giver. Should I expound or just tell you?
Yep, you can.
Yes. So I realized that in my life I am a servant. And so I have surrendered to that. And I feel my blessings come when I'm able to serve others. I'm at my best, helping others, and that stems from my mother. My growing up, my mother had she had 7 girls, and we had to go to the store for neighbors and not take any money, but just help the elderly in the community and stuff like that. And so as growing up now as an adult, I love to serve and help. And then I love to organize. So I'm an organizer. I can help. I can help people organize businesses and different things of that nature. And then I'm grateful and I'm humble. So those are the things that I put down: organizer, servant, a giver, giver of life, giver of love. I'm humble and I'm grateful and I'm complete. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. And I can definitely hear it in your voice, how connected you are to those parts of you, right? Because it's not what you organize or how you organize, it's that organizing is a part of you, it's part of your expression, and that you do that. And the same thing with serving. So thank you for sharing your parts of you with us.
Thank you.
Awesome. Anyone else?
Okay, I'd like to call on Darlene. Darlene DeFore.
I just wrote, I didn't deal with like particular characteristics of me. I dealt with more of some stuff that I want to do that I've let go fallow. I don't see, what I don't see is the creative aspect of myself being expressed. So things like, I like to take pictures, photography, video editing, creating something that combines all of me. Have this book project that's laid fallow, journal writing, and I also put love, I put that's there too. And this vision that I've had that's changed shape of having some type of community institute that involves collecting research but also empowering members of the community. And that's just some of the stuff that I was thinking about in writing.
Thank you, Darlene. And part of this exercise is not to have, every single part of yourself on that piece of paper, right? Because there are so many parts of us that make us who we are. And, I love that you are at least starting to look like, wow, like this part of my life that I want to express more. And I think just like this exercise, it may seem simple, but it's not, right? Like it's the little bits and pieces of our lives, right? Because again, we're playing all these different roles, but then these other parts of us that we want to manifest and express. And how do we do that? How do we live this in-between space where we can balance those two things? And like you said, how do you bring those two things together, right? All these parts of you. And Darlene, what would that look like, right, for you to start bringing all these parts of yourself? You know, whether it's, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know, because I feel in some ways stuck because I try to live up to what I think I'm supposed to be and not who I really am. I don't know if that makes sense.
It absolutely makes sense.
Yeah.
Yes. And that's the thing, again, going back to the quote, right? People are going to have a vision for us. And some of us have fallen into those, right? Not many of us. Like, I have to be, you know, a straight A student, or I have to just be a caregiver, or I have to just be this. But there's all these other parts of me, you know? And again, this is not about like, just rushing into this area you haven't exercised, because it's trying to go to the gym and you've never been to the gym, or you don't work that area out, and then you're trying to lift 250 pounds. That doesn't work. Start small. How can you start small? So I invite you and everyone on Facebook, on the call, to start thinking, how can I start incorporating little parts of myself in this area? So for example, for me, I use like the example of my highlighters, right? I love to put things in graphs and I highlight them in different colors, not one color. I like all of the colors, right? So how can you start putting those little parts of yourself, incorporating that love in your work, in your photographs, in your journals, and creating this community institute, those little pieces in between your life that you can start incorporating. Thank you, Darlene. And we could have one more share in this conversation.
Okay, Terry made a comment in the chat, and I'll ask Terry to come up to share. Come on to the able to do that, Terry Ruffin?
Yes, here I come. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning, Terry.
The most important thing to me is, first of all, recognizing that not only do I love, but I'm deserving of love, because I've had a lot of life experiences that haven't necessarily exhibited that for me. So that's extremely important for me, because I've had situations where I've loved and not necessarily it has been returned. So I'm looking at life at this point that, yes, I am a loving person, but I am just as much deserving to be loved. Okay. And that if I'm not in the right circle to get that, then I need to move out of that circle and move to the next. Another thing that I talked about is that I'm in the process. I have an entrepreneur spirit, even though I've worked for somebody else for more than 30 years. For more than 40 at this point. So that is coming out. And I always love to give. So I want to be a philanthropist, and because I want to give anonymously, just being able to give. So those aspects of myself are very important, and they're coming out more and more, because as I bring my job career to an end, it's starting to almost get in my way. Not that I'm not appreciative of the job, because I am, but a whole new world has opened up to me. And I am so grateful to the Woo community and to Shawnee, because it is really pushing me in the direction of my true vision.
Awesome, Terry, thank you. And so I have a question for you. You said you want to, right, be an entrepreneur. How can you do that at a small scale, even if it's just to start?
Well, I have a couple of things that's happening. One, I worked on getting my S corporation. I have an interest in real estate. As a result of participating in Woo, I've become familiar with Alicia, and one of the opportunities that she's offering us is a real estate venture. And I'm going to jump in there with both feet, both hands, and all my legs and learn what I can possibly learn. So that's why I say I'm an entrepreneur in the making, because so many opportunities are opening up itself to me. Um, Even the fact, I have to be perfectly honest, I'm working on the admin team, and we got assigned accountability partners, and they say speak it and it will happen. And my accountability partner is Shawnee, and I called Cheryl right away, and I was like, Cheryl, do I read across or do I read down? And Cheryl said, you'll be fine, Terry. And then I had to stop. I had to step out my fear, and I had to stop. And I was like, here is your dream coming to reality. You asked the creator to put you where you can make things happen. And he's allowing people to come into your life to help you to realize your vision. So then I saw it as an opportunity. I mean, when you, let's face it, you know, when you get paired up with Shawnee, you get a little scared, first of all, you know, because Shawnee comes off so radiant. You understand what I'm saying? And I just really had to step back for a moment and realize the opportunity that was in front of me, and that accountability partner was going to mean so much to me, in addition to my responsibilities as an admin on the Woo community. So I am complete, I am grateful, and my vision is happening right before my eyes.
Thank you, Terry. Yes. And you pointed out to something very important, which is accountability partner. And the thing is that, there are parts of us that are still not fully flexed, right? Still not fully worked out. And that's where having that support comes in, right? Because again, this is where I want to be, and this is where I am, and there's this big gap in between, and if I would have known exactly how to get there, I would have been there already, right? But I don't know. I may not know all the steps, but there's someone who's already been there, right? So then that person can support me through that process or guide me. And that's why I'm just super excited just in these conversations in general, right? So that's awesome that you are taking all the actions, that you have an accountability partner, because you'll have someone who's going to push you just a little bit further. Like, come on, you can do it. We've got your back. So awesome, 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 Terry. Thank you for that. And is there any shift? Oh, go ahead.
We do have a hand raised from Teresa.
Oh, yes, Teresa, come on.
Hi, good morning, family.
Morning.
What came to me was, first thing came to me was dance, sing, love, and write, and enjoy my unique and crazy ways. You know, sometimes I'm trying to constrain myself and say, "Oh, Teresa, don't do it." I was like, "Oh, the hell with that." So that's one thing that I'm working on. Just whatever I do, just enjoy it. Like, stop having all these rules and regulations in your head. I'll tell you a good example. Last night, the pharmaceutical guys were having a cookout. So the Spirit said to me, ask them what they need. Do they need paper towels? So I came downstairs and I bought the paper towels, and I had a great time. I was in pain when I came down, and I was in pain when I walked back upstairs. But when I got outside, it changed my whole atmosphere, because and then, some people's complaining about them, and I was like, well, there's got to be a way. And so the Spirit said to me, "You're the way. You're gonna go and talk with them." Because like the other day, they were saying something they was going to do. I was like, "No, you're not doing that, because I'm tired of seeing y'all dying, and I'm tired of y'all killing yourself, and I love y'all, and I need y'all here." And so they were looking at me like I was crazy. One guy, he left, and so I was like, "I don't care, because I'm just going to tell them, what Spirit told me to tell them." And the other thing, like, and that goes with changing the view of having healing eyes for myself as well as others, because what I might think, or what you might think about somebody else, and what the Spirit has to say about somebody else, is totally different. So the only way that you can get and do what the Spirit has you to do, you have to show up. So I was in pain when I went up there, but I did not care, and I couldn't hardly walk back upstairs when I came back in. But I had a smile on my face, and I had a great time. So, and today I'm going out again today. And normally I would just be staying house, because I was like, "Oh, the pain is too much." The hell with that. I'm going out again today, this afternoon, to have some more fun, because fun is what's going to get me healed. Because what it's saying to my body is that no matter what body, you're not damn stopping me no more. And I'm going on, pursuing through pain. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
Don't leave, Teresa. Hold on, don't leave. Okay, so I have a question. So first of all, just thank you for sharing that. Because again,
Yes.
it's just that, that extra push. Because if you don't do those things that nudge at you, you're never gonna know
Yes.
what's gonna be on the other side. You're just not gonna know, right? And it's very easy for us to get comfortable in the
Yes.
anxiety and the fear and the concerns. But what if X, Y, and Z? There's a lot of that, a lot of chatter in our minds. So I hear that your body is aching and you're loving it. But what was that experience once you actually did that and engaged? Like just in your spirit, what was the, if you can put a word to it, like what was that experience for you?
I was dancing. They was like, I thought you was hurt. I say, it is. I am hurting. But when I came outside and I listened to what Spirit said, it's like I felt invincible. I felt like I was dancing. I was laughing. I wasn't talking so much. I was just listening to conversations and I was just listening. And I was just, like I'm a prayer. And I was praying for the young men. I was like, Lord, give me praying for all of us out here that we be safe and just have a great time. And then we just started creating, coming up with a good idea to do for our community. So, I'm excited about that. But it's just that it was just so phenomenal that I was able to. I mean, and I was hurting bad when I went out there. I was like, Teresa, you need to go. You need to stay in the house. And some said, nope, you do not need to stay in the house because that's what you've been doing for almost a month, staying in the house and giving it to this pain. And I was like, so what? And I went outside. I just felt so good, Carmen. I'm telling you, just talking about it, I'm excited because I'm excited. I'm excited that I'm going to go out again today. And I just took a pain medicine just now. And I was like, I don't care. I'm still going. And so, and I don't want to be taking a whole bunch of pain medicine, but right now I got to take it. And so it's okay. I refuse to let that stop my progress. I'm going out. And even in my house, I was rearranging furniture and moving stuff, painting all. I sat down, got up, sat down. So it's not like it's like whatever that you want to do, you gotta say F that. Like F that mess that's stopping me and get up and do it. And that's what I did. And I've been having a great time. It's like who are you, girl? Like where you came from? Because normally I had been depressed. I was in the bed, just laying in the bed, just feeling sorry for myself. I got to the point where I couldn't even get in the bed by myself. That's how bad it was. My legs just shut down. I couldn't even get in bed. So I had to call someone. So that was embarrassing that someone got to see my butt every night, help me get in bed. But the Spirit said, Teresa, what if you didn't have no one to do it? What would happen to you? You'd have to go to the hospital. So I didn't have to go to the hospital. So I stayed home and my neighbor came up and got me in the bed. It was like, anytime, no problem. And she was so sweet and loving, Carmen. That's what was so sweet about it. She was so sweet and loving. She was like, no problem, Miss Teresa. And some days I was up to maybe 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the morning waiting for her. But I sat there and I prayed. Someday I'd be crying, whatever. But I did it. And so I lived through a rough time that I have not lived through in a long, long time. But Carmen, I am getting up going.
Yes.
No matter what. I even went to Resort World this week. This week. I was like, yes. And it was a lot of walking. Girl, it was so much walking. I was like, okay, God, it's a lot of walking, but I did it. And I'm going to go back.
Thank you. No, thank you so much, Teresa. And it's, just listening to you, I'm excited for you. I feel like I was there right there with you.
Yes.
And right. It's like about living our lives, like, and just in between space. It's not, every day is not going to be the same. There are going to be days where we are going to have a hard time getting out of bed, moving, producing, right? And it doesn't have to be that way, right? And you took those actions and you went to those gentlemen and you follow Spirit and you are alive, right? Like you're excited and you felt invincible. Like our lives are worth us feeling invincible about, right? So awesome work. And thank you for sharing that with us because I'm super excited.
And thank you, Woo family, for all your love for me. I really appreciate y'all love me so much. That's what gets me out of bed is y'all love. Makes me fight. And like, cause I be hearing Shawnee or Kenyo for one of your voices or Jackie, Zakia, excuse me if I don't name your name, but all of y'all help me.
Yes.
All of y'all help me.
Yes, and sometimes we do need voices besides our own because sometimes those voices are not very productive and supportive. So it's good to have other voices. Thank you so much, Teresa. Kenyofi, do we have any Facebook shares before we move on to the next part?
It has not dropped any Facebook shares, which likely means there aren't any, but we do have another hand raised. Would like to speak for Jacqueline?
Good morning.
Good morning, Jacqueline.
Spotlight. Hey.
Happy birthday.
I was listening to Teresa and I was just so inspired. I had a bad dream last night. So I wound up getting up about 5 o'clock this morning and I was in the ocean and the water kept coming and I was able to jump over the waves or, you know, swim into them or whatever. This one huge, dark, gigantic wave came and I saw it coming and I knew I couldn't get out of it. So I'm in the water and I'm panicking, but then I'm like, just breathe, just breathe, just breathe. And so I took as much air as I could and then the wave came over me, but I didn't die. I just woke up. So I was like, oh shit, what's going on? So I was like, oh my God. And there's a partial eclipse outside. So I went and I took care of that. But then when you put this chart up, this is what I did because I love coloring and I love being creative. And my chart turned into affirmations. And one of my affirmations is I am love. And then I realized that, you know, I've been feeling very disconnected from people and from my family. And so with my son, I was just looking at the email and they had To Kill a Mockingbird is coming out. That's one of my passions is to go to the theater and to watch dance and stuff like that. And it's been a while since we've been able to do that. And I have not had that connection with my son for such a long time that I've decided I'm going to buy tickets for him and I to go and see the show so that we can bond again. But I'm so grateful for this. Thank you, Carmen, because it's been, you know, some things going on and I've been holding myself back. And I was able to get up this morning and do Kinyofu's Dash again. I needed to re-inspire myself. And so one of my circles is royalty and I am a queen and I'm seeing purple and all the other colors, but it's growth, it's peace, it's tranquility, it's joy, it's magnificence, it's explore, it's love. And Teresa's expression of love just now just brought it all up and out of me. And I thank you because I was definitely drowning and I'm complete.
Yes, thank you. You know, one of the things about being like just compassion and empath is just like, I'm right there with you in that experience. So like it's really tough for you. But you know, thank you, Jacqueline, just for sharing that part of yourself with us because, you know, we have developed parts of ourselves to protect us, to protect the little kid in us, right? From being hurt emotionally, physically. And, you know, that was useful for us at a certain point in our lives, but we don't have to be that anymore, right? And it's so amazing that you can step into that love for your son and for yourself to share that and say, I want to feel connected with my child, right? And again, these are the gifts that are just naturally ours. Like no one has to give us permission to be loving, to be compassionate, to be excited, to be, no, it's our lives. When I die, I'm taking all that with me. So I might as well use it up. Unlimited credit card, use it up. Thank you so much, Jacqueline. And keep us posted on that event with your son. Awesome. All right. Yes. All right, Kenny, I think I'm going to just move to the next part. So, you know, just, you know, there are these moments of excitement and joy, but then there's moments that we are totally disconnected and not in a good space. And can you, if we could go to the next slide. So just some for these. So these are some of the things that, you know, that I've painted. So I didn't see myself as a painter. Like I love painting. I love colors, you know, and I started just playing around with paint, right? And as you can see, you know, there's 4 of them on my left. There's like this one that's like red, blurred, I can't understand what it is. And then at the top right, there's a red and blue. And what I noticed is looking at these different pictures, because in this one that's a little bit more colorful and more precise, is that I just had to keep trying, because when I would try to paint something and it didn't come out the way I wanted, I would just like, forget this is crap. I don't even know, I'm not a painter, I'm not a professional, why am I doing this? But then I noticed that when I was fully present with myself, painting, getting to build a relationship with that paintbrush, with that paint, the consistency, feeling it out, there was no separation between paint and I. And then I ended up doing the yellow and green one. And I was surprised, I was like, wow, this looks nice. Like, what else does it need to add? And I kept looking at it like, what else do I need to add? And at some point, there was nothing else to add, right? So, you know, sometimes we do need to practice. And I know that sometimes it's hard because we get in our heads and we're like, oh, well, this, I don't know, I didn't do this, I don't have enough for this. But when we are present, when we are being in our lives, magic happens, discoveries happen. So we're gonna use that second piece of paper now. And Kinyofo, we can move to the next slide. This is another quote by Ram Dass. I've been reading his book since I was 16 and pregnant, on and off. And one of the things that he said is that the quieter you become, the more you can hear. Let me just read that one more time. The quieter you become, the more you can hear. And sometimes it is hard to be quiet and to listen to that voice inside of us. Because again, there's this chatter from ancestors, from people before us, our parents, society, we should be X, Y, and Z. So we're gonna take the next 3 minutes, and if you could take a piece of paper, and we're gonna be doodling. And what I invite you to do is that as you are doodling, breathe, very intentionally, just breathe in and out, and just follow your pen or your pencil or your marker or your highlighter, and just breathe through it. You can shade in, you can, whatever it is that whatever spirit leads to. Okay, so we're gonna do this for 3 minutes and I'm gonna set the timer. Any questions so far before we start this part?
Doodling, is that drawing or writing or both?
You know what? Whatever it is that it is for you. Whatever spirit is. There's no right way to just be with yourself. So that could be drawing, doing letters, affirmations, whatever it is. Just as you're doing it, breathe and just continue to do that for the next 3 minutes. Thank you for the question. Any other question?
I love it.
Perfect. All right, so let's love on. So for 3 minutes, the time starts now.
And just so you know, I was looking for the whiteboard on Zoom. I don't think we have it activated. That would have been really cool.
And time is up. Okay, so we can just come back. And before we move on, just want to acknowledge that it's 7:50. I know that at 8 o'clock, some people will be transitioning to go back to work or to start work. If that's the case, thank you for joining us. Hope you have an amazing day. Don't forget to live your life in between and be present to your life. And thank you for those that might have to go. Awesome. All right. So just anybody would like to share kind of, either you can share your image with us or what came up for you in these past 3 minutes.
Amelia says in the chat that she loves Ram Dass. She said this quote is one of the main reasons she studies and practices meditation.
Yes, thank you, Amelia.
And Jacqueline says, I always discover something new about myself and about my needs when I'm tapped into this community. And then this came before the activity. So I'm waiting for others to drop in there. Amen. So, Afriye, I'm calling on you to share. Are you able?
I cannot come on camera.
That's okay.
Okay.
So my doodling is always the alphabet, writing, and script. I've been doing that since I was a little girl.
And what came up for you as you were doing that exercise now?
My childhood, elementary school, going to Catholic school, my mom teaching in the school, and how much I always wanted my script to look like my mom's and my older sister's script because they had such great penmanship.
Awesome, thank you. Yes, and definitely when we take some time to reconnect with ourselves, things come up that we don't even know are there, or just as a reminder. So thank you for sharing that with us. Anybody else? And there's no right way to do this. Whatever that doodling looks like, it's all good. This is your process.
All right, so chat. Teresa says this was so relaxing and healing. Love it. Felt so childlike, comforting for my little girl. And Adam, why don't you come on to screen and share what you wrote, share your experience.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Adam.
What I personally wrote down for myself is that I am a leader, and I look at that quote that you just shared, and that quote resonated with me because when you're very quiet, you have an opportunity to get a lot of things done, and you have the opportunity to ask necessary questions versus when you talk so much, you become overwhelmed, and that's how you create more stress into your life. Because when you talk so much, you act like you're the smartest person in the room, and you develop some kind of arrogance that turns some people off, as opposed to when you're listening, and people see that, you'll get a certain type of response, and they'll look at you and say, wow, this dude is serious about learning. And that's what I got out of that quote.
Thank you, Adam. Yes.
You're welcome.
Definitely, I think I'm right there with you. I have been a space filler, and I'm very uncomfortable in silence. But even that uncomfortableness says a lot. So did anybody feel any discomfort doing this activity? You can just chat yes, no on the chat. Was this uncomfortable for anyone just to be in the silence?
While they are getting that ready, I can read the Facebook comments that have dropped in here. So Jem says, I drew a large lotus flower with the sun shining upon it and the caption, opening up to receive light. Wendy says, I've doodled, dresses and houses. Okay, I think she wants to say, I've doodled on dresses and houses since I was a child, and that's what I was doing now. Darlene says, I drew plants and called it Garden of Darlene. And Tracy is supporting Adam by saying, preach, brother, preach. Tracy Ann.
Yes, thank you so much for that.
This is Abimbola. I would like to share.
Oh, of course.
When you were talking about, I was doodling and I just did my thing with different colors. And I find it therapeutic. And it just causes you to think. Just go into your mindset. So I just did whatever spirit led me to do. But when you were talking about your challenge with, about drawing, and so I've had an opportunity to participate in several sip and paints, but I got discouraged because I'm not able to keep up. But I enjoy it. It's just therapy. So thank you for this here, because maybe if I do this more often, doodling, I would gain more confidence when I'm participating in the sip and paint. So thank you for this.
Yes, thank you, first of all, for sharing that. And this is your process. Our lives is our process. And, don't catch up. Don't catch up. Why you need to catch up? Take your time, paint, be present. And if you leave half the canvas empty, well, that be it. Enjoy your drink.
Thank you. Okay.
Yes, and I see that Adam just responded to your comment. That's why we have to remind certain people that they talk too much, when they talk a lot, and we have to tell them to shut up in the process in order for us to remain present. And I guess just to that, Adam, one of the things is, it's like it's a relationship with other people, right? And that's people's process, and it's like I've had to catch myself so many times because I move fast in my life, and my oldest son, he moves, in my experience, he moves very slow. So there's always this conflict between like, hurry up, let's go, we gotta go. So you could just imagine crazy mom getting everything together, even when he was younger. And at some point, I had to check myself. And I was like, Carmen, how dare I rush his process? That doesn't work. I don't want nobody rushing my process. I don't want anybody to tell me how to do my process. And I've had to learn how to dance with him to honor his own process. And now I've noticed that he seems a little more relaxed and he's just himself, and I can be myself. And I have to catch myself, and I have to say, Frank, I gotta go at 3 o'clock. I have to leave. You ready or not, I'm leaving. So if it takes you 6 hours to get ready, baby, take it 6 hours, but I'm leaving at 3. So it's just, it's just, how do we live in that space of in between people who are very different from us? And for me, it's just like honor their process the same way I want my process to be honored, because there's some beautiful balance in between that. Also see that Cheryl says, no need to keep up. Yes, there's definitely no need to keep up. Let's see. All right, Kinyofa, can I pass it on to you? If not, I'm gonna get lost in the chat.
Yes, I appreciate you remembering that I'm here. Thank you. So Darlene says, I brought an adult coloring book and crayons to relax. And Patty says, I love that, sisters, drawing. I have not done that in a great while. I took my time to write what I have consciously not wanted to do. Why am I not doing what I must do for me? So thank you. I will continue to journal. Ashe. Yeah. Tracy Ann says, and letting go. So Amelia has her hand up, and I want to call on her, but I want to take the opportunity to to mention that I remember when I was parenting my children, my daughter liked to doodle. My son also, but my daughter's doodle was more invasive of her schoolwork and her homework. And I was, more like the parents is like, no, don't do that. And so the society has us think that what we hand in needs to look a certain way. And I was falling in line with that. But I can tell that, this was her way of opening up and being present. But I didn't understand that then.
Yes. And just, just to add a little to that, Kinyofu, is, even right here, right now, I feel like the 5-year-old me is sitting with me in this process because, I can't speak for everyone, but I know just growing up and even just in the education system, we are taught to just be still. Be still. You have to sit in your seat, be still. No color pencils, no highlighters, no sense of self-expression. You have to do it one way, and life is not one way. And I don't want to live nobody's life. I just want to live my life. So that's beautiful that you saw that in your child. And I think this is also an opportunity for us to, again, get reconnected with those gifts of ours. They're given to us. We already have them. It's just, how do we practice it in these safe spaces, in these spaces of quietness, where we can just be our true selves, whatever the heck that means for anybody. And Kinyofu, you said someone had their hand up?
Yes, Amelia.
Amelia, yes, join us.
Good morning, Woo.
Good morning.
Thank you, thank you. So this morning, I've been doing one of my favorite ways of spending time in quiet, which is a walking meditation. I'm here in New York with my beautiful mommy. She's been going through just some of her own challenges, and I'm grateful that I've been able to be here to spend time with her and connect with her and do one of my favorite activity, and which allows us to bond and just appreciate those time together, those moments of just pure connection, doing the simple things. So that's just one of my my favorite experience right now. And I'm so grateful for this conversation because it just helped to remind me of the things that are important in my life and the things that I want to be able to express, which is family, love, time together, and simple gratitude for simple activities. I want to also take this opportunity to say thank you to everyone who has been holding me and my mom in prayer and support. I'm so grateful to all of you. So grateful to all of you as well. Thank you. And my mom expresses her thanks as well. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you so much for just sharing with your mom with us. And, the doodling activity, was just, just one activity where we can experience that silence. But as Amelia said, for you, it could be writing, it could be drawing, it could be taking a walk in the park, it could be biking, it could be singing, dancing. It's not the form, it's that it connects you to who you are. Do we have any other hands raised, Kinyofu?
No, but we have a conversation in the chat. So Jacqueline says, I use the time to complete my color web of affirmations by writing the different activities that I do and want to do and to express each of my affirmations in life. Teresa Scott says, your painting was awesome. She's referring to Jacqueline. And Charmaine dropped in from Facebook that Teresa Plaskett shared. Greetings and good morning, community. My doodle was squiggly lines, some words and connected shapes. Seemed totally disconnected and disjointed. But before time was up, I wrote, love beneath it all. Absolutely love the silence. Jacqueline says, I wanted to answer the question, where do I start? And Terry says, to Adam, extroverts process outwardly and introverts process internally. It is a dance that requires a balancing act when internal and external processes are in the same space.
Yes.
Jacqueline says, beautiful, Amelia. I love hearing your voice. I love that. Afriye says, love you, Amelia. You're looking good, mommy. Cheryl says, Ashe, and Amelia, give some hearts.
Awesome, thank you. And I love what was said about the difference between introverts and extroverts. You know, and this is why doing activities to really connect to who you are, because if you honor who you are in your process, you can also see that of others, right? And then that's how we really, really connect with other social beings. So just thank you everybody for those shares. And we are going to just move along. Any questions before we move along to the next slide? No, perfect. All right, Kenyofu, we can go to the next slide. And I see that Lori from Facebook said, finding this to be a useful practice. I was told not to doodle as a child, but this was purposeful. Yes, our life are purposeful. Just the last slide, Kenyofu. And I just wanted to bring this quote up from Janelle Monáe. She is a American singer, songwriter. She does a lot of cool stuff. And she posted this quote, and I don't know if it's hers, but she said, she talked about being queer. And she said, queer people don't grow up as ourselves. We grow up playing a version of ourselves that sacrifices authenticity to minimize humiliation and prejudice. The massive task of our adult lives is to unpick which parts of ourselves are truly us and which parts we created to protect us. And I'm just going to read that one more time. Queer people don't grow up as ourselves. We grow up playing a version of ourselves that sacrifices authenticity to minimize humiliation and prejudice. The massive task of our adult lives is to unpick which parts of our lives are truly us and which parts we've created to protect us. And I really love this quote because one of the things, when I first heard the term queer, so I am in a same-sex relationship, and it was very difficult coming out to my mom because, again, the chatter, you know, I'm going to be judged, I'm going to be criticized, I already have 3 children, what are people going to say? And I actually even had a woman come up to me that I know, and she did the sign of the cross in front of me and told my niece that the devil was in me. You know, and I understood the background behind that and, you know, her experiences, but it felt like there was something wrong with me. I've always felt there was something wrong with me. And when I read this quote and how Janelle expressed herself as a queer woman, I looked up the word queer, and it's strange, right? The word is like, it means strange or different. And I was like, oh, I am strange and I am different compared to someone else. That doesn't make it better or worse, but I am different. You know, and at this point in my life, thinking about who I want to express myself to be, creative, colorful, compassionate, I no longer have to protect myself. And there are also boundaries, right? So where do I now draw these boundaries where I'm not shutting people out? So I guess we'll take a few minutes if anyone wants to share what resonates with them with the quote, what's coming up, any questions?
I'll share a little.
Or thanks.
In regards to the comment came from, I think, Teresa, talking about her squiggly lines and such. And I related to that because a lot of the times, even though I'm so great at doing art and you know, making things look realistic and stuff, when I am in a doodle thought process, my drawings are very much squiggly lines, squares, and stuff like that. And similar to Teresa, and here I wasn't fully into participating with the exercise. And then I thought about it, I was like, why don't I just see what comes out? And I did squiggly lines with shapes and some words that said truly blessed. This was, you know, my doodle. There we go. Thank you for highlighting it, spotlighting it. That's it. And again, this is just, you know, just not just letting it flow. So I think that there's something authentic about when your doodles, and I've been Bola sharing earlier about her process, and keeping up and such. And it's not about keeping up at all. It's just about being authentically you, even if it's just dot lines, regular shapes or whatever. When you look back at it, there's something that is going to connect you to it, and it may just unfold later. A lot of times I go back to doodles and stuff that I've done. As a matter of fact, that's how I came up with Happy Ellen children's books that I did with my daughter. There were doodles that her and I did together. We looked over them again and we saw a whole picture, and eventually it unfolded, and now we have 5 books published. It's a
Awesome.
beautiful thing.
Yes, thank
Thank
you.
you so much for that. It was
Yes,
great.
and listen, we are all part of this process. So I'm glad you did that. And I guess before we go to the next share and what's been shared on the chat is we all have a process. And when we allow ourselves to go through that process, whether it takes us 5 minutes, 10 minutes, an hour and a half, it's our process. We deserve to have that process because when we're in the space of process, we're connecting to the essence of who we are, whatever that means. So then when we're doing the work, and in my example, in my experience, when I wake up at 4:30 and my partner tells me, you don't need to get up so early, but I do. Because that's part of my process. I'm putzing around, I'm drinking coffee, I'm organizing my desk. I don't have to do that, but it makes me feel reconnected with myself. So when I go to work and I'm working with families in schools, then, I can be part of their process and hear them out because they may not have spaces to go through a process. When I'm at home with my children and it takes my children hours to clean their room, I can just understand that that's their process. And the boundaries are maybe no food in the room. So just really beginning to honor our process is really a good start. So thank you, John, for even though you're masterful with your artwork, that there's this other place where you can still just honor process. So I saw that Charmaine from Facebook, Charmaine shared that Lori from Facebook wrote, strange and different are often qualities of the most beautiful creations. And I think we're all strange to someone. So if we try to adjust ourselves to everybody's views, then we'll just, who the heck are we going to be?
Right, Carmen, there's a whole thread of conversation around that.
Yes.
So I what Janelle says applies to all of us. And Teresa says, I'm not queer. I felt this most of my life until the last 5 years. Candace says, we all grow up with a quest for true identity, queer or not. The search is universal. Hattie says, beautiful. It's beautiful. Wow. Jacqueline says, I think that most people do not grow up as their fully authentic selves. We hide that which we believe others would not accept. Our families, values, and expectations sometimes overshadow who we are. We learn to protect ourselves in many ways. As Black and brown people, we wear the mask that grins and lies, Langston in parentheses. As people in general, we take on our families, our communities, and society's views of who we ought to be and try to live up to that. It sometimes takes a lifetime to be our authentic selves. And Hattie says that's why we should always just lean into spirit. Jacqueline responds, your daughter is blessed to have you as her dad, John. I've been processing this entire time, and LOL. John responds, thank you so much, Jacqueline. I'm blessed to have her as my daughter. And Candace Hurley says, all the greats have a process. What's your process? Get a process, family.
Yes. And Candace, actually, if you are able to unmute yourself, I would love to hear what your process is.
Thank you, sister and Carmen. Such a pleasure. What is my process? My process is to write and journal. My process is to be open to change and open to growth. My process is regular exercise 3 times a week. It includes cold showers to raise the endorphins and dopamine in the body. My process is to give myself time and space. So that's my process as I stand here today.
Thank you, Candace.
All encouraged by the Wu family. Yeah?
Yes. Thank you, Candace. And definitely, you know, being part of this Wu community, we definitely get a lot of ideas about process. And, you know, just going back to what I said earlier, just even about my nails, painting my nails, it was a process. I had to try something on because if not, I don't know if it works for me, right? So going back to, and also going back to the topic, living in between, I have to be, you know, experiencing this process because then I won't know if this works for me or not. And not everything works for everyone, right? So you can try something on for a week and say, you know what, I'm not really feeling this, or I'm feeling this, but this is what I want to add, right? Like there is no manual. And if someone finds it, please let me know. But there is no manual that I know out there that tells you this is how you have to live your life from A through Z. I don't know. I don't think it exists. So at least unless you want to create it, that's part of your process. Create your own kind of guide for your life. So thank you, Candace, for sharing. Go ahead, Camille, I see you're muted.
Oh, yes. I see Amal has her hand up.
Sure.
Yes, good morning, good morning, good morning. So you talk about process. Every morning, I'm part of a meditation group. We don't just meditate. The Japanese tea ceremony, I do that every morning with the matcha tea, and it is every move that you make is deliberate. It has you focused. It's almost meditative. And I just every morning, sometimes I get up later and think, oh my God, I'm getting ready to miss the tea ceremony. And I immediately do it because it gives me a space to just, you know, be moving my hands and activity and thinking and getting it right. I mean, that right down to the folding of the napkin that they use and the movement, everything is so deliberate. And that's a process that they in China that they use to just calm yourself and to just put yourself into a real meditative space. And then I do yoga after that, and then meditation. And that whole suite, if you will, is just sweet. I'm using both different connotations of the word. Yeah, it's really sweet. Thank you. And good job, girl. And don't forget our talk now. Our 30-minute talk, please.
Thank you, Amal. Yes, you know, and everything is a process. Coming into the world is a process. Being in the womb is a process. Being birthed is a process. Living is a process. Dying is a process. It is all a process. And I don't know about any of you, but I've rushed my process in my life. Like I had my son when I was 16, and I thought I had to just hurry up and rush and finish school and do this. But I wasn't experiencing aliveness in my life, you know, and it wasn't until a few years ago, you know, just participating in different programs. I've also been a graduate of Landmark, Momentum Education. I participated in E.O. Robbins workshops, Shani, that I started looking at, wow, there's just so much out there in the world. What do I want to experience? And that's what I've been doing, just being part of these different processes and seeing if it works for me. So I'm just really excited that I've been allowed the space to create with you, co-create with all of you, what it means to be living in between. And, you know, I will leave the floor open for some questions, but these are 3 takeaways that I really, you know, just invite you all to kind of keep in the back of your minds, or if you want to write them down, whatever works for you. And those 3 things are: honor your process, because in the process is where you will get connected to your natural gifts and talents that you already have. No one has to give them to you. The second thing is that there's no right way to be. You just are, right? Like we did the activity with the different parts of you. I am because I said so. You said who you are. And the third thing is that there is nothing wrong with you. You're perfect, whole, and complete. There's a lot of things that have impacted you, your brain, how you process, how you function, but there is nothing wrong with you. So those are the 3 things that I really hope you can take with you. And, you know, just let's see what comes out of this, a day from now, a week from now, you know, and just thank you just much for the space. And now I'm just gonna, Kinyofu, unless we have certain things in the chat, I'm just gonna open the floor up for questions.
Well, there's a little conversation as usual. Jacqueline says, okay, let me go back to Candace. Candace says, my process is to journal, exercise daily, do yoga, eat well mindfully, leave space for myself. And Noelle says, by the way, she was in Momentum. What LT? Maybe she's asking what's Landmark. Jacqueline says to Candace, I will have a routine that serves me for a while. Then I have to create a process, especially when things in my life change. Noelle says, my process is working out, eating well, hydrating, and meditating. Candace, okay. Yes, they were put in the chat, Candace. And Noelle agrees with Candace, and that's what's happening in the chat.
Awesome. Thank you very much. So yeah, so I guess we'll leave the floor open for any questions, comments, or just anything that you're taking away with, like yourself, what came up for you, what you're taking away.
Hi, I just wanted to say something.
Sure.
Hello, can you hear me? Hi, my name is Tracy, and I really did enjoy this this session this morning. I want to say that you're very calm, peaceful, and oh, I'm at work, so I can't start the video. So I just wanted to go over the process of what you were saying. The three things, because one of my coworkers was speaking to me. You said honor the process. There is no right way to be, you just are. And there is nothing wrong with me. I am perfect, whole, and complete. Those were the three things you said, right?
That's it. If you want to add more for
Hello?
yourself,
Can you hear me?
we can hear you.
No, I just wanted to ask you if those were the three things you said.
Yep.
Yeah? Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Have a good day.
You too. Any other questions, comments?
Well, we heard from Patty earlier. I'm wondering if Patty has a recap after going through the process.
Kenyofu, I'm not sure what you're asking me.
Oh, well, this is Carmen's ask of what your experience was after going through the process.
Oh, okay. Well, I have, I never know what to expect when I come to the call. And this has been awesome. Every time I come, it's good. And this is good. And it's amazing how spirit brings you where you need to be. So I'm just enjoying the fact that from here, I'm going to start doodling, drawing, coloring. Yeah, I'm so excited. And my grandniece comes to stay with me. She's 6 years old. Oh my goodness, she's a ball of fire. Absolutely love and adore her, but Lord have mercy, I gotta have my skates on.
Yes.
But being in this discussion will allow me to be more patient with her and to encourage her to do this right here, because she needs to start now too, tapping into her quiet space and what comes up for her. So I'm really grateful, sis. Thank you.
Thank you.
And I'm complete.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that. Any other questions, comments? If I see you, okay, there you go.
So Facebook, Robin out in Facebook says, I totally love your growth and transformation, my Carmen. Keep honoring your processes. Soar, mama. You are the light you seek.
Yeah.
And Lori out in Facebook says, this was wonderful, Carmen. Thank you.
Awesome.
And how about anybody else? Like Darlene, you shared earlier. And Terry, I see you just dropped something in the comments. So yeah, to doodling and coloring. Yes, you want to speak?
Yeah, this got me to just push past some of the things that have been holding me back. And I'm going to try to, I'm going to do. Because I have a lot of video of different groups that I'm involved in, the Tuskegee Airmen and some other stuff. I'm just going to edit one small, just play with it because I don't know what I'm doing, but I can learn. And I'm just going to try. I'm going to play with editing some footage that I have, and it's a process of learning. Because some of what I think holds me back is thinking I have to know before I do. But part of doing is part of what you get out of doing is learning and having fun and experiencing. So that's one thing I think I'm going to try after going through this experience this morning. And Carmen, you did an excellent job this morning.
Darlene. Yes, and just do it. Just go and do it, do it, do it. Little kids, they just do things. They don't think about it. They're like, oh, I just want to jump over the puddle. They jump.
So true. And I was reading Terry's comment, unless Terry, you want to come onto video and share.
Hi, this is Terry. I can't come on the video because I will scare all of you away. However,
Let me see. Let me see if you can scare us away.
Oh no, I'm birthday suit down.
You can keep that process. It's okay.
But it did take me back to, I remember being a child and just thinking that the world was my playground, and I remember being in the house, and I used to like Diana Ross and Stephanie Mills' Home, and I would be in the house and I would turn the music up so loud and I would sing like I thought I was them. So I just want to thank you for this because it has taken me back to that place where I just feel that the world is my place, not that I'm in the world trying to find myself. Thank you.
Thank you, Terry.
Awesome. I'd like to hear from Cheryl. Coach Cheryl.
Grand Rising. What do you want to hear, Coach Kinyofu? This was amazing, Carmen. I'm so proud of you. And so I just really am grateful to see your evolution from the beginning when we were in the beginning of WU and you had a consultation with me trying to discover your process. So I'm happy to see you manifesting not only your process, but also enough to share with others how to discover their own process. So congratulations, awesome presentation. And yeah, it's just a wonderful reminder for all of us to just go back to our inner child. And I'm complete.
Yes. Thank you so much, Cheryl. And I'm very moved right now because I think about, all of us as children and all the things that some of us have gone through, many of us that has thwarted who we are as human beings. And getting reconnected to the essence of who we are, to those natural gifts and talents. They don't have to be perfect, but they belong to us. That we have this sense of ownership of our lives, that, the world could be falling apart, but that I'm solid because I know who I am. No matter what happens in my life, no matter what tragedies come my way, no matter how many losses I have, that I can stay true to this part of who I am. So, I'm very humbled by having all of you share your experiences with me and with this community. And I really invite you to continue to go through whatever process you need to go through to stay connected with who you are, because living life in between is pretty awesome, right? You don't have to be A or Z, just figure it out in between. And when you're 60, you figure it out. And when you're 90, you figure it out. So thank you so much, just everybody for engaging in this conversation, whether you shared out loud, participated, kept your video on or off. It was really all just amazing. Thank you very much. All right, Kinyofu, we can take it to the next part.
Before we do that, and yes, it is a 8:28, so we want to move on. I'm going to read this chat comment from Charmaine and also ask Teresa to give us a 1 minute comment. So Charmaine says, as I respect life, the process of self-development, I'm having such an amazing time understanding who I am, what makes me tick, what I will or will not accept. I'm grabbing life by the horns and creating possibilities. I'm loving my inner child, inspired all of that. I'm loving my inner child, inspire all of that she has gone through. And Teresa?
Carmen, we come a long way, baby. Let me tell you, Carmen, I'm having a birthday party on July 17th, and I'm gonna send y'all. Next time I come on, I'm gonna send y'all the address to where I'm having it at. But I'm gonna be doing at my party. And one of the requirements is they have to bring a pad and a marker so they can doodle, because that was so peaceful, Carmen. And people need to what's missing with us that we have lost like connecting with that silent inner child, because that was so peaceful. And I want people when they're there to dance, to sing, to do whatever they want to do, to act crazy, whatever, to have a good time, because we just don't have a good time like we used to. Like when Miss Terry said she would get up and sing, that was me dancing and singing. We would do the Supreme Stop in the name of love. You know, it was just so awesome. So you just brought back so many childhood memories for me. And I just want to tell you, thank you for the gift of you. You are a gift to the world, baby girl, and I love you.
Thanks, Teresa. I love you too.
All right. You can speak about your special offer.
Yes. Okay. So just gonna make sure I can see the slides on my end. So I am offering 5 amazing participants the opportunity to have a 45-minute session with me, and it's a fun session. So we're not going to be super serious. It's going to be just helping and supporting you connecting to that inner child. So I'm offering 5, complimentary 45-minute fun sessions. And before the session started, we chose 5 numbers, and Kinyofu is going to let us know who won the offers.
Okay, sure. So Amal is the first number you chose. Well, Amal is number 3, and Candace is number 5. Evelyn is number 7. I need you all to come off of mute and say that you are accepting it. Jacqueline is number 11. And the last person on the list is Zakia.
That's amazing. I was just sitting here thinking, now you won the consultation with me, so we can do this together. We can talk and doodle.
Yes.
I accept, Carmen.
Awesome.
This is Candace, and I accept as well. Thank you.
And I need to hear from Zakia and Evelyn.
Yeah, I just finished having my test to get ready to go to Africa for my birthday. It's happening, y'all.
Oh, hey, woo. And Evelyn? Okay. So recounting. I'm going to move down one and call on Hattie, or invite Hattie to accept this offer.
Awesome. That's powerful.
Congratulations, everyone. So yes, definitely anywhere between now and September 1st, reach out to me so we can schedule the session, something that works at any time that works for you. And I know Kinyofu is going to share my contact information. Perfect. So yes, definitely by phone, 914-848-1251, or you can text me. There's just my Facebook information, Bella Carmen, my Instagram at Carmen EWF as in Earth, Water, Fire. My email is carmenewf@gmail.com, and my blog link, Just Live This Life. Okay, love, offering, and donations. So, you can Zelle or Quick Pay at soulleadershipdevelopment@gmail.com, Cash App, $ Spirit of a Woman, and the code is 345CR. And as we have discussed in these conversations, money abundance is a flowing thing, right? So give in between anywhere that works for you, and as you give, you receive. Let's go to the next slide. And yes, joining us on Sunday, June 13th, 2021, it is Nicholas Hurd in Healing Through the Chakras. So let's see what is going on with our alignment in between our centers. So if you have not registered yet, make sure you register.
All right, and you out there in the community, who are you that's new? Like for you to share with us. So you, if this is your first day in Zoom, first day on Facebook, first day to ever hearing about Wake Up Everybody, put it in the chat. Let us know that you're here. And welcome, welcome. It's because of you that we're here. Each one of us were new at a point. And Zoom, we are live in Zoom on 5 days, the 3 days that we're here for 90 minutes are Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday from 7 to 8:30. And the 2 days we're here for 30 minutes are Monday and Wednesday. That's from 7 to 7:30. And we are streaming live on Facebook while we are live in Zoom. We have swag that you have, and there's t-shirts, sweatshirts, a cup, and mask that you can choose from. There'll be more at some point soon, and you can get yours at bit.ly/woo swag. We want you to know that in order to be updated on what's happening in the Zoom space, you want to register. So you register by bit.ly/wake up movement and fill out a form, and then you receive emails. You need to do that every week. All right, because every week the lineup changes. And Facebook, you do this once. If you want to be part of the community, bit.ly/woo community, you answer a few questions, agreeing to the rules, and then you're in upon approval. And there you can get your playbacks. This is the previous sessions, all the previous sessions, and you can join live on Facebook. Instagram and YouTube, you can also check us out there. And we have an email for you to check up, to comment on what it is that you're interested in or have any questions or comments about. info.wakeupseries@gmail.com. And today we are opening up the session after the session for volunteer interest. So Teresa Plaskett will be here with us. And if you have any interest at all in what it would mean to volunteer with WOO and to help support the behind the scenes, as I mentioned, if you heard me share before, there's lots and lots and lots of things that go on behind the scenes. And we are in need of some really passionate, interested, available, and talented people. So if you have any interest, any curiosity, please stick around and be with Teresa. Right now, I'm going to stop the share and I'm going to yourself so that you can thank Carmen for this wonderful session.
But he's not. He's in the beginning.
Thank you, Carmen, for this work.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carmen.
Let's continue to create people and move forward.
I was doing a
Conversation. Thank you for allowing me
glad.
to
So blessed.
speak,
But I got a lot of
build,
it, and I'm
Thank you so
glad I
much,
got on.
Carmen. This was wonderful.
and just
Thank
know
you.
that
So blessed.
everything that I'm
Thank you.
doing is the
Yes.
Look at your
is
growth.
intentional.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for
Bless
coming.
you.
I
So
We are
appreciate
so
you.
blessed because
It
of
was a
you.
love all the
wonderful
shares.
session,
Your
wonderful,
growth.
wonderful
Awesome.
session.
Your
Because our
growth
gifts and
You
has
skills
impacted
again for
our
the
make
lives.
what is
persuasion.
spaces
Your growth has
Love you
Start
all.
impacted our
doing.
lives.
Y'all,
Thank
not
you,
yet. I love
Kennedy.
y'all.
We
Thank
have
you.
benefited from your
Lord
growth.
Thank you so
inside
much.
Thank you
your
for being a
Your
love.
growth
gateway.
has impacted a
Sharing your
For
village.
sharing
wisdom.
your
Thank
story,
you,
your
Everybody keep
Carmen.
on,
I
keep
look
on
talent,
doing your
forward to
thing.
meeting with
and
Live
you.
life.
Thank
just
you.
everything.
Thank you.
Okay, thank
So
you.
Yes.
I need more joy, and it's going to come
Yes.
through meeting
Yes.
with you. Thank you, Carmen.
Thank you, Carmen. Thank you,
Yes.
thank
Thanks
you.
for
Can't
pouring
wait
into
until the
us.
next time you present.
Got so
That's
much going
correct.
on in between. Thank you.
Yes.
Part two,
Stay
part
blessed.
two, part two.
Part
Stay
two, part
blessed.
three.
Part two. Part two,
That's
part two.
awesome.
Yes, come back
Colors in the
again.
house.
Thank you.
Ashe,
Colors in the
ashe,
house.
ashe,
Colors in the
Ashe.
house.
Yes.
Ashe.
Will be a part
Colors in the
two.
house.
Definitely.
Ashe.
Thank you so
yes.
much. Ashe.
Ashe,
Part
my
two,
friends.
part
Yay.
two,
Ashe, my
part two.
sisters. Ashe,
Colors
Yeah.
my
in the house.
village.
Doodles in the
Yeah.
house.
Ashe,
Colors
Sister
in the house.
Kate.
Doodles
Ashe.
in the house.
Ashe, everyone.
Part two, part two,
Yes.
part
Ashe,
two.
Everybody have a great
Ashe.
day.
Part
Have a
two,
great
Carmen. Part
day.
two.
Thanks for blessing us, Carmen.
Yes,
Thanks for
indeed.
Yes.
blessing us.
Wow, wow.
Yeah, look at us smiling.
Yes.
The inner child is showing.
Yes. My little girl is
Yes.
happy.
Yes, yes.
Yes. Yes.
Great job, everyone.
Great.
Thanks.
Yes.
Yes,
What
have a
a
great day.
great, all right, Sister Terry. What a great segue into conversation about volunteering with Wake Up Everybody.
Yeah.
Hey, Sister Teresa.
That was awesome.
I know, right? Right? About practicing our gifts and skills in quiet and supportive spaces. This is just an
Yes.
awesome entryway into this
It is.
conversation.
Yes, it is.
Yes. So, do we have anyone? It's just, so
Just us.
Teresa, it's just the two of us, but that's
Yes.
okay. We're going to have this conversation and we're just going to bring in new energy and new people
Yes.
into the space to
Yes.
support
Yes.
all the work of Wake Up
Yeah, we're
Everybody.
speaking. That's right. We're speaking new life into every area of the admin team, of every of the slides, of the marketing, that people just come in a rush. People, qualified people. Because I was thinking about what came to me just now when y'all were talking about, is it possible that we could just, could I advertise it on my page? Like, is there any way we could like create like a wording where we could look for people who have skills in certain areas, like where we could advertise it, like I could advertise on my page.
Well, right now, Teresa, I think we are looking at tapping into the rich network of Wake Up Everybody, the nation.
Okay.
That's right here. So
Okay.
listen, we are expanding by leaps and bounds, right? Today wrapped up
Can I tell you something, Teresa?
345 days of Wake
Yeah.
Up Everybody. So we are growing, we are here. The vision of what was 30 days initially, then 90 days,
Yes.
we have made 345 days. So that work of Wake Up doesn't, there are many hands that go into.
Is it possible that we can create some type of thing in the Wake Up thing, like advertise, like make a thing in the Wake Up on the Wake Up page? Like, you know how people can, like, I approve people to come on the Wake Up page. As a part of it, like we could write. I don't even know, I don't know how to do the wording. Maybe I can figure out some wording and send it back to you. But you just have such a glow about yourself. I love it.
Thank you so much.
That was you, but I wasn't sure. I was like, oh my God, that looked like Teresa, but she just looks so different.
Oh man, well, thank you, Teresa. I appreciate it. And I heard your testimony this morning. So we do know that through Wake Up, we are all transforming, we are all growing, we are all tapping into the light that's already in us, right? And so we are being fed in this community by showing up every morning and listening to and connecting with all of the rich facilitators that present their work to us. That kind of gird us up. But in this space of also receiving, we're also giving, right? And I think that's what kind of brought you and brought myself here into the volunteer community, right? And so
that's what I said today, was that I needed to come in and, like come and be with Teresa be together.
TNT
is gonna be together today. And I was like, normally I'm like trying to get away from, but I was like, no, I'm gonna step right here. So if Teresa, needs someone to encourage, whatever, encourage them to come and be part of it.
Well, thank you so much. So Teresa, what brought you in as a volunteer? Not only just a participant in Wake Up Everybody, but as a volunteer, and summarize it in 20 seconds.
Well, I just saw the need for help, for the assistance. And so but my thing now was that I got to figure out I have like a Mac Pro. So I don't know how to use my Mac Pro.
Okay.
Now I can see everything now. I could assist with stuff that I couldn't assist, but I don't know how to use the make the cursor go up and down to make stuff move, because like I was doing some calls, right, and had to go back to my phone because I don't know how to use the Mac Pro to utilize that. So that's something that I got to get some kind of training in.
Okay, so even with that, so what brought you to the space is just a willingness to volunteer, to help out.
I saw
the need,
the work that they do and the need,
right.
And I was like, Teresa, you have a gift, so bring yourself on here and assist.
So when we're talking about with the volunteers, we come as we are, right?
Yeah.
So in the space, in terms of, so let's just like backpedal for just 1 second. In terms of the volunteer need for Wake Up. So what you see in production, what is it, Sunday through Thursday, there is a lot of background work that goes into what we project and what is produced on a daily basis.
Yes.
So you may see, and you and I, Teresa, we're talking to each other, but Facebook Live is still on. So we're still speaking to the community, just to give the community a glimpse of all of the moving pieces. So we are all volunteers, we're called admins. So what you see, we have Facebook admins. So Coach Charmaine, who will be on Facebook and dropping information in there and kind of monitoring that space. We have the Zoom admins. So like Coach Kinyofu and John were the admins this morning who kind of make the engine go. We have the facilitators who actually present the material. But then we have a whole group of dynamic men and women who are in the space that help facilitate in other administrative roles. So my name is Teresa. I'm also a slide admin. So me and my team, we actually put the slides together that you see projected with the special offer and with the facilitators information. There are onboarders and this group of dynamic women and men, they actually interface with the facilitators before they even land in the space. So they'll have a conversation that, what do you need? Do you have slides? What system are you looking at and working with? And having that conversation to make sure that when the facilitator lands on their day here in the Zoom space for the community, they are presenting as powerfully as possible. So in supporting them and doing that, we have Coach Chantel, who interfaces with all the facilitators in terms of the administration, getting their information, signing them up, who's going to be presenting on which day. Teresa, you're working with fundraising, and you brought that into the community. And that was a point in which we weren't, not to say that we weren't thinking about it, but in terms of having someone to be fully focused on the fundraising aspects and looking for money and bringing that type of revenue into Spirit of the Woman, Wake Up Everybody. So I think what you highlighted, Teresa, about, you just got a MacBook Pro and you're learning how to use it. Even for myself coming into the space, I mean, I've done slides for work. However, in this space, it was more of like a curiosity and a willingness to volunteer and a willingness to really learn, to be pushed out of my comfort zone. That even if you may think, oh, well, what could I offer? We all have, and just like Sister Carmen put out in the space today, we all have skills and gifts that can be nurtured, matured, and really identified in safe, supportive spaces. And that's really what Wake Up Everybody is, right? So if you're sitting there out there in Facebook land, it's just like, well, what can I do? Just by asking that question, you already know that you have a skill or an ability or just the openness and the willingness to kind of just jump in and to seek and to search, right? And I think all of us here in this wake up space, we know the value and the power and just how wake up has blessed and enriched our lives. And just the natural flow of things is potentially to look at how can I, and that was the question that I was asking for myself, how can I give back? And in this space of volunteering, there are different levels of volunteering. For slides, there is a little bit more time commitment because slides have to be produced on a daily basis. However, say as an onboarder, you may decide to onboard these number of days, you know, it's okay. So you're able to identify the days and the times that you are available to participate. For some other aspects of what goes on in Wake Up, the participation level may only be once a month. If you were to join the marketing committee, they hold monthly meetings. So it depends on what and where. The time commitment can definitely be different. So not to be turned off by the perceived like, oh, it may be too much. Come into the space and find out. And trust me, people work, people are in a lot of different spaces doing a lot of different things. And we can definitely find the right formula for your life to fit in doing the work of Wake Up in the background as an admin. Sister Teresa, do you have anything that you wanted to add or?
I just wanted to say is that find your niche, because you might could create a whole new position in here because of your gifting. So don't be limited and say, oh, I can't do that. But you can come with a whole creative idea and bring a whole new point that we've never even seen. So, you know, be open-minded to receive and, you know, to give, because being here has changed my life and it will change your life. I'm the same way, especially when you're behind the scenes, then you understand why everything works so well together and how people are willing to volunteer. Even at the last minute, people are willing to help and step in. So, you know, that's love. It takes a lot of, you have to love being here in order to be committed. You have to love this. Like, you see the smile on her face? You see the excitement that we had when we was talking in the Wake Up, that's love. That's love from what we got here. We got loved on. And so we're sharing the love back, you know, to the community and to the world, to everyone who's watching or even who's looking at us. It's love. It's love that keeps us here. Love, really love.
Ashe, ashe. Well, I think you put a period at the end of this conversation, Sister Teresa. I love it. Thank you so much for staying on. But oh, let me just say, if you're interested in volunteering, and I know that Coach Charmaine did drop in the chat the link for the volunteer form. But if you are interested in volunteering after watching this conversation, you can always email info.wakeupseries@gmail.com, and you can put in the subject line volunteers and just drop a line, and someone will definitely reach back out to you to bring you into the space. Just, I guess, one other housekeeping. Coach Kinyofu also on various Thursdays holds a volunteer like admin training. So that would be definitely like the next step after expressing interest, would be attending that volunteer training. And then from there, you will be matched up with the lead for the space that you are interested in participating in. And then that's it. You'll be rocking and rolling and in the community in a different capacity. But yes, Sister Teresa, constantly, it's just a community of love, and that's why we're here. So I'm complete. Are you complete?
I'm complete. Peace and blessings, Teresa.
Peace
Have
and
an awesome day.
blessings. Have a
Mwah.
wonderful day.
Love
Love
y'all.
you. Have a
Can't
great
wait to
walk.
see you.
Have
Can't
a
wait to
great
see
walk.
all the new volunteers.
Yes. We'll see you soon.
Yeah, see you.
Bye.
Bye bye.
All right. Bye.
Honey clover.